So what does that mean? It means we don't have the investment of dollars to try to mitigate the consequence or the vulnerability of the water systems. When we talk about security, we, after 9/11 here in this nation, decided that we would try to add on security, that we would do an evaluation of what the universe of crucial facilities were, critical infrastructure, and say, now let's see what the vulnerability is, let's see what the gap is, and let's try to fill that gap. We did that exercise in New York State. As chairman of the Senate Homeland Security Committee, first of its kind in New York State, and one of the first in the nation at the state level, the first law that I wrote was about water security. And the way I did it was, I looked at the universe of facilities and realized that there are literally hundreds of local municipalities that run their water systems, in addition to the huge water system in New York City. And then each one of these were already highly regulated. You've already heard yesterday from the Environmental Protection Agency and all of the regulatory schemes. The difficulty, of course, is that they did not look at water security through the prism of security, but rather through the prism of environmental conservation or purity. So what was missing from the analysis was what I'd like to call the hardware of Homeland Security, the gates, guards, guns, and gadgets that you would need to apply to make sure that the facility can continue operating. So we went back and we said, here is the universe of facilities. We're going to do a threat analysis, and we're going to have a report developed by the water facility itself and sent to us. We're going to do an evaluation, a gap analysis, and try to drive money to try to fix it. Again, most of the facilities were highly regulated, as it were. Missing from that analysis was the decision that we should also take a look at whether or not the facility operates efficiently, is actually up to speed with new technologies, that we would have a coordinated water supply system. We didn't do that. So what we've done is we've added on security, as opposed to coming in and saying we should renew the facility and bake in the security features. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have an opportunity right now in this nation. We have almost $1 trillion being bandied about in the stimulus package to try and jumpstart this nation's economy, which will hopefully help the rest of the world as well. My pitch, the thing that I want you to adopt and join me in doing, is saying, for all of us, let's not lose this opportunity. Let's make the investment in infrastructure and do it in a way where we can bake in security as well. So we get a plant that is newer, more efficient, more technologically advanced, and safer, so that we can provide an assurance to the people that we work with and represent that there will be water, safe, pure drinking water from their taps tomorrow and in the years to come. We should also have an embrace of an idea that we talk about a little bit, but I know you're familiar with, but let me just go through. And that is the fact that, just like with New York City water system, that is a single point of failure, we need to eliminate those single points of failure everywhere we can. We ought to make our systems resilient and redundant, so that if you take out one way of getting water, you have another way. This again should be baked into the concept. The only way you can do that is to truly coordinate how you build water facilities. Take a model, a really good model, and export it around the globe, so that you have a common template which would also address other issues like the cyber issue, the supervisory control and data access, the SCADA systems. That is a real vulnerability. We should prevent the exploitation by developing a common set of operating principles. And cyber is the perfect place to start because it is truly global. And we should also make sure that everybody has an awareness of water. That may sound overly simplistic, but think about it. You must have it to survive, and yet we take it for granted more than almost any other commodity we have in our lives. Water awareness would lead to water security, would lead to water safety, perhaps also less usage of water, preservation of water, with an ecological perspective as well. There are great synergies, but yet we've never really looked at it because everybody takes water for granted. That's why I was thrilled to have the opportunity today, Doctor, to come here and participate and to see what you're thinking. But ladies and gentlemen, from the standpoint of where we are today economically, where the United States is with the stimulus package, and where the world is going to be in the next couple of years, it's essential we take this opportunity and make sure that we reinvest in both the efficiency of our water systems and their security. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Balboni. And I'm sure that there are many, many questions with regard to the opportunities that you alluded to in terms of the opportunity right now, major investment in the infrastructure, major investment in the security of this country. Can you elaborate a little bit more on this topic?
I think you should join the clarion call. I mean that there is great utility of having people who are interested and expert in water security to join the debate. For example, there are the country of Israel. Talk about water being the centerpiece of their existence, and the Middle East as a whole. There are water systems. There are blueprints and plans and technologies that can be brought to bear to say, here's a more cost-efficient way of doing this. You want to rethink water? Show us the ideas. And let's see if we can't then get that down to the different municipalities. I mean, frankly, from a business perspective, the United States is a wonderful marketplace because of the disparate water systems throughout the various levels of government. In addition to which, there ought to be a conscious call for water security globally. And that means that you can identify the issues that affect various countries, and you and I both know there'll be incredible similarities across those issues. So again, perhaps there is a way that in Sudan, they handle the water issue in a very clever and efficient manner. Or maybe they need a clever and efficient solution. This ought to be an exchange of ideas that is real-time and of great assistance. Now is the time. Water is ubiquitous, the need is global, and the ideas are many, but oftentimes it's just kind of a blizzard of ideas, and we lack the focus. So conferences like this can be that focus point to sit there and say, this is really important and something we should focus on right now.
Thank you very much.